All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Grace of God, Deputy Minister of Communications, Biafra Republic Government in exile. And I am here to bring you good tidings. My love and greetings and loyalty always remains with my Prime Minister, Odogu Simon Ekpa, the Dragon, the Prime Minister, Biafra Republic Government in exile, and the de facto government in the homeland. Biafrans, these are the days that Biafrans all over the world are encountering the finger of God, because we have a Prime Minister who today is a breath of fresh air. Odogu Simon Ekpa, I want you to know that to the Biafran people, home and abroad, you are a breath of fresh air. Every propaganda to dissuade us, to discourage us, to lower our ambition and our focus, it has all failed. Yes. And in fact, Prime Minister, I want you to know that they failed even on arrival. And I am grateful to Chukwu Okike Abiyama for your level of focus that have brought us this far. Now, there is a very quick one I want to tell you, because I was contemplating and I was in the spirit, and I began to ask myself, 3 good years, a woman whom I have already justifiably given the name Delilah, who was brandishing and posing as the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For 3 good years, nobody heard her voice. She didn't bother herself to do anything about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who was kidnapped, a British citizen who was kidnapped from Kenya and humiliated, disgraced, and brought to the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. And up to today, he's still behind bars under the ground in a dungeon. And after 3 years, she surfaces. And all this while that she kept quiet, the only time she speaks, she shows her hatred and anger towards the only disciple that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has. And I began to ask myself yesterday, why does this Chinchi, Delilah, hate Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister? Do you know what I came to realize? I came to realize one very important thing that makes her to hate Mazi Simon Ekpa. Do you know why? Because Mazi Simon Ekpa have succeeded in stopping the death of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, have been the only one that have made it possible that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still alive. And Uchechi the Chinchi is angry. The DOS criminals who sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are angry because Mazi Simon Ekpa have been able to stop the death of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If it were not for Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have died. And now Uchechi is angry. The plan initial was to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not survive. With all the problem underground in the dungeon, all his health issues and everything, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still alive. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu eventually came to defend himself, asking his lawyers to wait, keep quiet, and defend myself. And he did so. He stopped the judge, and the judge recused herself. I said, you are right. You are right. And the Chinchi's boyfriend, the Ejiofor, came out on the public and said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu committed abomination by defending himself. And do you know what? A video surfaced now, which if I am permitted, I will upload it here. But if it doesn't allow me to upload, you will still watch it because it is out there. The British Prime Minister, Sunak, the previous Prime Minister, Sunak was in their parliament talking about a British national who was kidnapped in China, far away Hong Kong. And they were deliberating on how he is politically, it was a politically motivated kidnap or arrest, and they were calling for his release. A British citizen for 4 years, and they were calling for it. And then you begin to ask yourself, why is it that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is not brought out? Remember, recently, the British were talking about how it is possible to revoke citizenship of a British national. I was thinking, could it be that maybe Britain may have revoked the citizenship of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? And they refuse to talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. They are talking about another person who was arrested in Hong Kong in China. Arrested though. But this one, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was kidnapped against international law and was extraordinarily rendition. So if there's any case that would hold more water, it is that of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For Britain, I have never talked about it. In fact, let me shock you. Do you know that even inside Britain, a court case to prove the innocence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free, and because he was extraordinary rendition and kidnapped, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's family lost the case in Britain. Does it shock you? And that's the reason why our Prime Minister, who knows very well the game they are playing, stood his ground, giving the zoo water. We have done our first convention, which sparked up an outcry across the zoo after the launching of Biafra Liberation Army, and now we're having the referendum and the declaration convention in Finland. The whole world is on their toes, on their feet. It is shaking. Water in the zoo is giving them a sleepless night. Remember recently, the Chinchi Delilah was even talking about citizenship in Britain, revocation and all that. Could it be that the Delilah knows something that you and I does not know? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case, the Britain doesn't talk about it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, a British citizen, and Britain have never talked about it. But Britain is talking about a British citizen that was arrested in Hong Kong, not kidnapped. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not arrested, he was kidnapped. Crime upon crime. And you know where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's own became unique? United Nations asked Nigeria to immediately release him. They refused. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu won his case in the zoo. The lawyers that judged the case, they were dealt with. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even recently won his own case personally by accusing the judge. The judge recused herself, and the Nigerian country, together with Britain, are insisting that the judge that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have recused must continue. Uchechi, who was hiding for a long time, comes out, and she is now talking. You see why Uchechi, the DOS, and the criminal politicians that call themselves Southeast politicians are angry with Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, because he was able to stop them from buying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Simon Ekpa have been able to stop them from killing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and that's why they are angry. Uchechi particularly, because if you look, there's nothing that Simon Ekpa have done to her. She's angry. And you now see she is even venting the anger on Cho Ayaba, who is supporting Simon Ekpa for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A lot to be said, but I'm going to leave it here so you will know that Chukwu Kitabiama is on our side, and our Prime Minister is a winner. Winning. The zoo has collapsed. Yakata. Get ready for Finland. It is about to be our Uhuru, and we are going to celebrate the restoration of the kingdom of heaven on earth, Biafra. My name remains Rafael Chamaka Jere, aka Pastor Vam Vam Vam. Airborne. Make sure this video goes viral, and make sure the Chinchi gets it. I know her secret. We know, and we have defeated them all. We move. Yes, I couldn't come live because it is still raining. You can't be able to come live, but the message must go on. Airborne, we move.
We'll put that challenge in.
It's done that.
Well, given what the Prime Minister said, and I agree, of course, we must engage, but we should use that engagement for our national interests. I hope that the Foreign Secretary will unequivocally condemn this military escalation and stand up for democracy in Taiwan. Now, the whole House will be concerned about the fate of the democracy campaigner Jimmy Lai. He is a British citizen who has been wrongly imprisoned in Hong Kong for 4 years. The previous government pressured China for his release. Does the Prime Minister agree that this is a politically motivated prosecution and that it is a breach of China's legal obligations to Hong Kong under the Sino-British Declaration?
Yes, and this case, as he will understand, is a priority for the government. We do call on the Hong Kong authorities to release immediately our British national, and the Foreign Secretary raised this case in his first meeting with China's Foreign Minister, and we will continue to do so.
Hope you have watched it and you have seen it. Now ask yourself, why have they not talked about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Is he not a British citizen? Was he not traveling on a British passport? Have you seen any video where they talked about anything about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu own is not politically motivated. He's not a British citizen. Chinchi, it's your first girlfriend. She knows. And that's why all of them, all of them, Biafra, please remember.